Before we sign off today, Space Nerds, we've got news to talk about. You guys remember just yesterday, actually, I think we were looking at the roadmap roundup, or 2 days ago, and we had some iffy signs about Recco in here. Remained tentative while the team continues implementing her and her missions for a future 4.10 build. Now, that might mean that it was going to slip, but it did not. We got an update for the PTU, and it looks like Recco is in. I'm going to give you guys the description of that, and then we'll talk a little bit about what it means. So for this new patch, it's still Wave 1, so still pretty exclusive. I will get some chances to test this out with you guys first thing in the morning when we go live for the rest of the Diaper Depot. We still got 19 hours to go. Recco Battaglia returns. She is back as one of the new in-person mission givers with 3 story missions that introduce players to Nyx, followed by a repeatable contract. She's located in Levski inside of her workshop, acting as a new instanced location. This is the first time they've done an instanced person in the game for you to go meet. This is a very big change from how they used to format the game. Recco's story missions take you through industrial mining, missing person boarding, FPS gameplay, and locating special people for her. It's so funny that it's not just straight up mining and stuff. Each one of the 3 story missions are sequentially unlocked once you build a reputation with Recco. Doing all the story missions unlocks special rewards and new repeatable contracts for Recco. Note, there is a known issue preventing Mission 2 completion, and as such, Mission 2 has been disabled in tonight's publish. This will impact the narrative flow but will be re-enabled in a future publish. Additionally, there is a chance an instance might not load initially for Battaglia Mission 1 and require you to select the employment center again for it to load. So, complications here, specifically in the instancing, it looks like in the second mission, are probably a big part of why this was tentative this whole time and why it's still not confirmed to be in 4.10. I'm hoping they can get this stuff figured out, but like I said, they've got, I would say, at least 3 weeks before they have to push this out. I don't think there's no big event in August that would mean they have to get this patch out at a certain amount of time, but it might be that they try to do it for some patch that comes at the end of the ship showdown. Either way, this is a big change for the game. You guys might remember mission givers from before. They were never instanced. They were just people who would be sitting in a place somewhere in the city that you would go and visit. And the problem with them was that, well, besides the fact that they didn't really have too much stuff linked to them, they also were broken a lot of the time, and there weren't that many missions for them. The reputation wasn't really working all that well. There's this episode where they kind of talked about how reputation was supposed to work and you were supposed to meet these people and do all this stuff. But they weren't instanced, so they performed terribly like the rest of the game. And CIG basically cut it off. After 2021, there were no mission givers. They stopped. Eddie Parr was supposed to come in Microtech back in the day. You can actually look up. He's still there too. He's a bartender at Microtech who will probably at some point get his own missions, as you can see here. But he was supposed to be the next mission giver that came in around that time. Along with Michael Shaw and a couple of folks at Orison, and that just never happened because the game couldn't perform well enough. So this is why I made this video about this, about how they're fixing mission givers, and folks didn't get what I was trying to say here. I will call out this comment because this is a funny one. Where was it? So basically, he predicted mission givers back almost a year ago. They haven't returned since, and he's still posting his wrong prediction for everyone to see. Crazy how YouTube commenters don't actually know what they're talking about sometimes, huh? So this is a big deal because it's the first time that they've done any sort of mission givers since all the way back then. And here's what they had to say about it a little bit.
Measure of how much a entity likes you, and that's common across all these entities, NPCs, organizations, etc.
Hello.
A few different things affect affinity. It's gonna be mostly your mission performance, and more specifically actually, what you do during that mission. That's when affinity will really get big boosts. It is also worth noting that we can affect affinity through just your everyday action. For organizations, affinity is a little bit different in that it kind of represents the amalgamated opinion of that organization and its members towards you. It's going to control a lot of things like whether or not they want to attack you or help you, for instance. And then there's confidence/career. Confidence is exclusive to mission givers, and it kind of says how good they think you are at your job. Career is how an organization might be tracking that same value, how good you are at your job. The difference with an organization is that they can have several career scopes. So a security company like Crusader Security might have a bounty scope, but they also might have a defense scope or a jailer scope or any number of these career scopes that we want to track your different levels of career proficiency with different kinds of gameplay.
That's super wrong now. They don't do that. You guys remember recently they said they wanted to cut all the reputation for specific companies and shift them to the factions like North Rock. And they've been doing that. So that's a big change to how reputation works, but mainly what I wanted to show you here was that they did have a set of mission givers. They had an idea for how reputation would affect our progression through those mission givers, but this never really went anywhere. And it dropped off so hard that everybody was kind of just not sure what the heck was going to happen. Were they going to continue to do narrative missions? Would they want to have named NPCs that we met? Was it going to be all NPCs you could meet? Specific group? How would it work? And so this is the return to that. I think this is going to be the game's bread and butter long term. NPCs that you can meet and just get some small narratives from. This is likely going to tie into the main story, and ultimately is probably going to be a lot of what people do for entertainment in the game. And I just wanted to cover it real quick. Like I said, we'll go play it tomorrow, but I wanted to let you guys know that it is in. Sorry, it's been like 9 hours. Not as good at talking. It is in testing. Not confirmed to make it to 410, but it's in testing. So there's a good chance it is going to make it, and we'll keep an eye on it over the next couple weeks, and I'll keep you up to date.